You all know this guy, Dazai from Bungo Stray Dogs. But now let's look at him in a different form, and that is Nendoroid. So I actually got this as a gift from someone. It's from Amazon and it's real, it's legit and official, and actually it's my first Nendoroid ever. So coming from someone who's never had one before, I just thought that maybe I'd make a video about my thoughts on this. And who knows, maybe it might help you in getting one in the future too. I'm not gonna go too much in depth with this because to be honest I don't know what to expect, but this is just for fun, so here we go. Let's open it up. And here he is. He comes with a bunch of pieces which we will go over later and 2 extra faceplates for a total of 3. The packaging on this is, it's pretty good. Kinda. I found it kind of weird how this arm and the one across it were just sitting there plainly, meanwhile only these 3 are securely taped in. Like, why not all of them? But anyway. Look at this tiny little hand compared to my hand. All of the pieces are incredibly easy to lose because of their size, so that's something you might want to consider when putting it together or storing it. And here's the whole set. This comes with 3 faceplates, which are neutral, smiling, and starry-eyed. The main head and front hair. Here we have 11 hand and arm pieces with 2 props, the coat, and of course the stand. The body and legs don't really count here, but I still detached it as a formality in case you want to switch it with another Nendoroid. So here's a size measurement next to an actual ruler. Basically, you're looking at a little over 3 inches with and without the stand. And for reference, it's a little over half the size of an iPhone 13, which is actually way smaller than I thought. Like, I always imagined Nendoroids were a little bit bigger than this, but it's like half the size of my pencil. But it's fine. So how does he look? Well, to me, he looks awesome. He has dark, rich colors, strong, smooth material, and he has depth. Nothing here is flat. You can tell that every part of this is crafted with a lot of detail, and it's definitely not some ordinary toy. Even though the box quite literally says it's fun to play with, I wouldn't give this to a little kid. Another thing I noticed is that the color gradient of his hair actually changes from brown to like a dark brown or gray, so that's pretty cool. It's not like one solid flat color, it has detail. The bandage on his cheek and over his eye actually have depth, they're not just like painted on or something. And look at his left eye, it looks really cool, plus the hair and all of its strands. His clothes have creases on them, so again, you get the point, it has detail. So his arms can move up and down, but they cannot move sideways. His legs are movable up and down just a bit, and they are also rotatable sideways, like so. For the head, you can tilt it up and down, and you can turn it left to right, but you cannot tilt it sideways. And to my surprise, he can't sit. So I learned that it turns out only certain Nendoroids are built for sitting, and this just isn't one of them. So as I mentioned before, he has a detachable coat, and you can actually rotate the sleeves around, and you can even detach it, though I'm not sure why you'd want to do that. But what I don't like is that this thing is really light and thin. You can bend it and break it very easily, and not to mention, it doesn't even connect to the figure itself, like it just falls off. So to fix that, I just used the back of his head and hook it in with his hair so it doesn't fall off. It's pretty stable that way. But this problem is only for if you're not using a stand. If you are, then the stand just inserts directly into the hole on the coat and you'll be fine, it doesn't fall off. It was just a minor inconvenience at first. The stand actually says Bungo Stray Dogs abbreviated on it. And I know this must be like a pretty standard basic stand for those who are familiar with Nendoroids, but for my first time, I gotta say, this thing is so cool. It's super flexible, it's really twisty and turny. I had a lot of fun just playing with a stand without even putting the figure on it. And speaking of that, it can handle pretty fairly heavy weight. I mean, look at this position I put it in here, and it's not even in the middle. It's still not falling. Like, that's pretty cool. I don't really know if any of this is really worth mentioning in this video. Probably not, but I just thought it was cool, so wanted to show you. So here's a brief summary of how to customize. So you want to find this line and take out his front hair. By the way, this is really, really tight, which is a good thing. You'll always want to have secure pieces. After you get his faceplate out, you'll be left with this creepy looking thing. Then you put in the new face, snap back the hair, and you're done. Easy. Now about his arms and hands, they come off like this, and they're all really tight except for one, which is really loose. Unlucky. He also has this one arm which doesn't have an actual hand on it. It's designed to make it look like his hands are in his pocket, which I think is really creative and cool. Why am I saying cool a lot in this video? I don't know what else to say. So anyway, besides that, you're going to be dealing with an arm, a wrist, and a hand, which I don't know why it's separated like that. Like, why not just put the hand and the wrist together? It's just a lot more simple that way. And they're so tiny, as I showed you before, and there's so many of them. I mean, I guess that means it's more room for customization, but some of it is kind of pointless. For example, here is a cup which was shown in season 2, and that is this same cup right here. Now, this cup can only fit into this specific hand in this specific hole. So why is it even separated? Like, what is the point? I guess it's to put other Nendoroid props into there, as if they can fit. I don't know. I guess it's just a Nendoroid thing, but I just feel like it's unnecessary. So now with all that customization in mind, let's actually make some of the poses that are featured on the box. Building it from scratch took about 2 minutes, and that's just because I detached the body and legs and the pieces are all really tight, but generally speaking it should really just take you like 1 minute. It's really not a big deal. But it was fun. It kind of felt like playing with Legos, in a good way. And here he is. Looks exactly like the box. Okay, now for the problems. It took over 3 minutes to put this single cup in his hand because it kept falling off since it's so tiny. Which is why I was like, why are they even separated? But anyway, here he is. I gotta admit, this faceplate is kinda cute. So here's another problem. His handgun does not have a specific way to connect onto his hand. You just have to like slide it in there and hope it doesn't fall off. Like for example, the cup actually had a peg to connect onto his hand, but his handgun does not. So you have to be really gentle when putting it on. Which I did, until I dropped it and then I spent the next 5 minutes trying to put it back on because it kept falling. Yeah, this part was really annoying. I have one little bonus and favorite pose to show you, and that is the fist bump. To sum it all up, the good side is, it looks epic and it's high quality. Bad side is, the props are kinda annoying. No, 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 no.